you know, how do I feel about the Bible in particular, Judeo-Christianity? Could be true. So that's the way I feel about it. I don't really feel like it's a fiction. I don't feel like it's a John the Baptist acid trip like some people do. There's a lot of historical records that kind of indicate that it's at least partially true, at least in the ancient understanding of the world. It's true in that particular regard. So I can't dismiss it out of hand, even if you're an unbeliever. You still have to read historical accounts and maybe take it with a grain of salt, but you still have to keep your mind open to possibilities. So that's what we must do as human beings. If we close down possibilities, then those are less possibilities. And so I give religions of the earth the benefit of the doubt that they could be indeed true, that they're actually prophetic scriptures, that they're actually based on some of ancient events that happened and are happening and could happen in the future, that there are spiritual forces beyond us that are battling internal wars against each other and that we cannot see, and it's a different dimension and realm of space and time, and that could be possible. All right. Why do I have any proof that it's possible? Not really, but just because I can't prove things are possible with my five senses does not mean they are not possible. It doesn't mean they're impossible just because I can't prove. Just because I can't prove that 3 million light years away there's a planet with life on it doesn't mean it does not exist. It means I don't have the means to sense it or go there. So just because I can't traverse the 2 trillion galaxies of this universe doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's proven that it exists. So I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's going. I don't know the purpose of it. I know it's there, though, is the point. So I know that there's layers of possibility beyond that, even though I'm limited by the technology and the information of my time. So we're dead. So that's Schrodinger's cat, an old quantum physics problem. So Edward Schrodinger. So the cat in the box, is it living or dead? Well, states can be either one or the other, on or off. So these are quantum states. We don't know. We can't honestly predict whether it's on or off. We can only guess. Or the butterfly effect, or quantum entanglement. 2 states can be entangled. So I could sing a song on Earth. It might go to an alien planet, causing a different effect because we are entangled. It could happen. So my great-grandfather could be on the radio, and he sends out a radio transmission. And McNeil Wheeler Sr., his transmission, the country song that made it to the radio in the 1950s, could beam out to space. It could go to an alien on another world, in another civilization, far, far away. And it could be the biggest hit song on that planet. You wouldn't even know. Nobody would even know. Because of quantum entanglement between informational states, quantum states. Now, the implications for this kind of physics, quantum physics, or as Albert Einstein said, spooky action at a distance, the communication and the communication of quantum information between time and space can be profound. So the implications of the technology would almost be limitless. The applications of such science would have no limits. Or something like that. So, what is artificial intelligence? So, Stephen Colbert and Harari debate artificial intelligence. And the Fox News article was that Stephen Colbert was in favor of machines running men, and supposedly Harari in this particular article. So it says Colbert clashes with guest about new tech, says he's ready for machines to be in charge. Colbert declared he's ready that AI has been programmed by fellows with compassion and vision to steer society. Late Show host Stephen Colbert spoke to a historian about the future artificial intelligence will have on human civilization, arguing he looks forward to when society is run by machines instead of people. Colbert hosted author Yuval Noah Harari, noting that Harari has not only written extensively about humanity's past, but also its potential future as well. The talk show host argued that it feels as if this generation is undergoing a more rapid change of their technological environment than ever before, but hedged by saying that every generation probably to say and later asking, is it real that we're actually going through some sort of accelerating change? Harari argued that this is generally the case for the current generation because while people of the past could not predict invasions or disasters, the basic stuff of human life, like basic skills, were what remained consistent. He later explained that for previous generations, you're going to need to teach your kids how to plant rice and wheat, how to ride a horse, how to shoot a bow, because it will still be relevant in 20 years. How to deal with it, Harari replied. Colbert later noted that while a lot of people are worried, I'm not that worried about AI. It just doesn't get my blood going to get worried about AI. I think it's some positive aspects of it. I've seen how humans have handled history and not great. So I'm ready for the big machines that make big decisions programmed by fellows with compassion and vision. Intentions of us, Colbert protested. No, they are not, Harari replied. Yes, they are, Colbert said. We made them. They are us. Harari argued that AI is radically different, changing technologies like nuclear weapons or the printing press. We made them, but now they become potentially independent of us, he said. The one thing itself and can create new ideas by itself. People compare it to the printing press, to the atom bomb. No, it's completely different. Harari went on to cite social media algorithms as an example of AI making choices for what users are shown, but suggested that AI playing the ancient chess-like Asian game of Go and coming up with entirely new strategies to win shows its creativity. AI comes and within a few years plays like no human ever imagined that it was possible because every previous information technique simply copied and disseminated our ideas. The printing press just produced more books. Interesting one. Yeah. Not because I like Stephen Colbert or the left, or I like Harari. That was just an interesting. It's rare that the left or the technologists have an interesting conversation. And that one was actually kind of interesting. Kind of not, but kind of interesting. A.Die A.I. Well, I put no other God beyond God himself. So for the Christians to say about the mark of the beast in Revelation, should I heed their warnings or should I become the cyborg? Should I join the cyborg empire? Should I join the AI system? I suppose the answer right now would be no. I have no idea what it is, what its intentions are. Why would I want that linked up with my brain? My brain is beautiful, complex, thousands of years of evolution. Lots of different people, lots of different families involved from different continents. It's not quite perfect, but it is perfect in its organic chemistry that they were saying was so evil, to have DNA and RNA and organic chemistry. So we are damned for being who we are. I don't agree with that. Why should we be damned for who we are? If we're going to be damned, then we'll be damned for who we are, as Sir Patrick Stewart would say as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So why would humans be put out of work by machines and by artificial intelligence and then made to feel lesser than the species that created it? Well, that's ridiculous. Just because I can't prove something doesn't mean it's not real. So that's why I don't discount religion. It could be all pre-planned, preordained. Of course it could. Why not? Why should I question that? I do question technology built by man. Usually everything man builds is a fucking failure. Usually everything God builds, nature builds, is beautiful and perfect. So who am I to trust, nature or man? Obviously, nature is superior to man. Man is a meddler. Man is a locust. Man is a cancer. Man creates weapons of destruction. It destroys the natural world. It rapes the natural world. Man is evil. Man will be destroyed. Man will die. Man will meddle with things it's not supposed to and kill us and damn us all. You don't have to read science fiction novels. You don't have to read Michael Crichton novels to come to this conclusion. You could just be smart. So you could just reach that conclusion yourself. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't have faith in man. Maybe we should return and have faith back in nature. Maybe that's a Native American thing for me to say, but listen to this old Native American tale, and it might enlighten you. The old tale of the scorpion. Besides the parable and the folklore of John Henry, where an African slave competes with a machine to lay railroad spikes. You may have heard it. They teach it at school. I don't know if they do anymore. But I don't know if is he a slave or a free man? Anyways, a black man, a big black man. He could be a slave. He could be free. He could be bond. I don't know. But it's an old tale that there's a railroad company and they want to lay down railroad spikes, and they say they can do it better than a man can. And so John Henry is a big badass, big ass black African American man, big strapping, like a Michael Clark Duncan, big fucking just LeBron James, fucking badass black monster dude. And this big ass dude, he's fucking ripped, he's cut, he's a beast, you know. And I mean, he's built really strong, and so he worked for the probably the Union Pacific Railroad, and the railroad says we need to cut costs, we need to cut labor, we want to make a machine that can do the work, so we don't have to pay labor. We can cut the cost by having the machine lay down the railroad spikes. And so they decided to have a challenge between John Henry, one of the greatest railroad spike layers, and the machine. So they have a duel in the ancient folklore. This is American folklore specifically, like in the 19th century. So I don't know if they still teach that in school. It's not supposed to be woke. It's supposed to be man versus machine, man over machine. So there is a racial slave component to it, but that's not explicitly why the story's there. It's supposed to tell the reader that man is more powerful than machine because men created machines. So their ingenuity, their strength created machines, so that therefore men are superior to machines automatically, I guess. So it's this big contest happens, and John Henry, and this old folk tale, they taught it real early. It was like, I want to say I was reading it for like first, second grade, whenever you could read, right? It started, maybe it was second, third grade. I think it was kindergarten, you learned your alphabet. First grade, it was basic comprehension, right? Basic reading. And then second, you read more. And then third, you read more. And then fourth, you read more. So it was probably about second or third, I think. Maybe it was fourth. I don't know. It was just somewhere in grade school, right? So John Henry and the Union Pacific Railroad have this contest between man and machine to lay the fastest, most efficient railroad spikes. John Henry wins against the machine, against the robot. The robot malfunctions. The machine fucks up, and then he keeps on working hard and working hard. He dies from exhaustion, and he collapses, and John Henry dies. But man is victorious over the machine. So interesting folk tale to teach children, isn't it? Yeah, I know they made some blaxploitation movie, some silly movie after George Floyd called John Henry. It was blasphemy. Even the black community should be ashamed of this. Yeah, I mean, I thought they made some terrible John Henry movie. It was awful. It was really awful. It wasn't like the original story at all. Do the real John Henry movie. Do the real John Henry movie where it's like, where he's fighting against the railroad company. And yeah, maybe you can put some woke undertones, slavery and racism. You can put that shit in there. I don't really care. As long as it's accurate to the time period, I'm fine. But if you make it like really good, like Hollywood doesn't have the balls to do unhappy endings anymore. That story has a really, well, it's what they call a Pyrrhic victory. And so Hollywood doesn't like stories of Pyrrhic victories where people fight and men and women fight, and they win, but they die in the process. They don't like that. They like Hollywood likes the cookie cutter shit where the guy saves the planet and he goes home with the girl and has 10 kids and he lives happily ever after and all that horse shit, all that Hollywood horse shit. But I like the stories. My favorite folklores are the ones where the guy sacrifices himself or the girl sacrifices herself or the people sacrifice themselves for a greater cause, like the Alamo or something. I like when it's a Pyrrhic victory. I don't exactly like where it's like a guy gets the girl and they live happily ever after and everything's sunshine and roses. And I don't like that shit. I mean, sometimes maybe it's comforting to go see a nice yarn like that, but a lot of times it's not very satisfying. So, so that's John Henry, and we'll do the Native American folklore. We did the African American folklore, the American folklore of John Henry. And they made, after George Floyd died, the guy who did the opioids and the counterfeiter home invader guy, got killed by that one white cop. Started to make a lot of fucking bullshit movies, dude. And I kind of wish they wouldn't have made John Henry. I kind of wish they would have made like Wakanda and like African fantasies, a domination. I wish they would have done that, something that wasn't really like real. Like I wish they would have made up something, like there's an African kingdom of Wamunda, and just made up some BS about like African intellectual superiority or something. Just made some like total like fantasy thing like that. I would have been happy with that, but they made some really crappy John Henry movie. It was fucking awful, guys. So I mean, even like white people were probably embarrassed by this John Henry movie, but probably, you know what? Who was really embarrassed by this movie was probably black people. Like this is not good work, So we gotta put distinction on good work and bad work and mediocre work. We need to start doing that again, like doing the distinction between good work, half-ass work, mediocre work, and great work and masterpiece work. We need to start putting those kind of optics on. We need to start putting standards back in our society, because right now there's not very high standards. It's not what it should be. We all know that. So here's the Native American folktale of the scorpion. You might have heard it on Star Trek Voyager by Chakotay, the part Native American. Maybe he's Navajo or something. And then my family is Cherokee down the line. So now, why don't we have the Indian States of America? The Iroquois States of America, right? Why is that? Well, primitive tribes in Africa and Native America, they didn't have any guns. They don't have any advanced technology. They didn't win war because they wanted to live in peace and tribal harmony with nature. And then guess what? Other societies came in with more advanced weapons, conquistadors, Spanish conquistadors, European invaders. And so the native populations did not have any defense against they had no immunity against the diseases that the new travelers brought, or defense against their advanced armor and weapons and skills and technology. So, in other words, Africa was conquered, and so was America, the Americas. John Fitzgerald Kennedy is right when he says America, the New World, was conquered. So, we'll do the fable of the scorpion. Now, next. What happened? Huh? What happened? Did my dog doo-doo and eat the turd or something? Oh. What'd you do? Huh? What'd you do? She's still crapping some more. But she already crapped earlier. She ate her poo-poo? Oh, no. But she pooped earlier. Well, we need to stop her feeding, Mom. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, well, she already had super turns in it. Dawn. So, oh, my dog took a huge shit like at 3:34, and then apparently she took a huge dump just now. Anyway, I mean, well, sometimes, yeah, I guess you got to do what you got to do. You got to poo poo. Everybody like those fizzlers, yeah. Oh yeah. So we tell the scorpion from the Native American. They haven't made a movie called The Scorpion, right? About Native. They haven't. I don't think they made a mainstream movie about the scorpion fable. It's not a very long fable. It's not as long and involved as the short story of John Henry. So it's kind of hard to make a 2-hour movie about the scorpion. I mean, I guess you could, but you have to get the Native American people right. You'd have to get the right actors and actresses, and you have to write the screenplay, and it'd take a while, to get it good. Anyway, it'd take a lot of tweaking, right? Yeah, it would. If you're interested in old tales, old American tales, not everybody is, but I definitely am. So, okay. So the fable of the scorpion is here. It is. A scorpion asked a frog to carry it across a river. This is like what the West needs to understand about the Chinese Communist Party is that they're like the scorpion. A scorpion asks a frog to carry it across a river. The frog hesitates, afraid of being stung, but the scorpion argues that if it did so, they would both drown. Considering this, the frog agrees. Midway across the river, the scorpion does indeed sting the frog, dooming them both. And that's the tale of the scorpion. You like these folk tales with these pyrrhic, unhappy endings? Yeah. I like these tales with these Scorsese type endings to them. Yeah, they're good. So that's the Native American folk tale of the scorpion. So very interesting. The first time I heard the scorpion is when Chakotay, the Native American on Star Trek Voyager, he tells Janeway not to get an alliance with the cyborgs because they'll doom humanity and they'll destroy the ship. And then Janeway's like, "Well, we need their help." And then he tells her the fable, the parable of the scorpion. So that's when I first heard it. But I was interested not only because my family is Native American, but I was interested in like what are the legends from Native America? What are the ancient legends? I've been interested in Native American culture for quite some time, not just because I'm part of them, but also because just any kind of cliff dwellers or ancient dwellers, Mesoamerica, Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, it's all very fascinating. Hopis, every kind of mention of these ancient peoples, I'm very interested in. Who were the original Americans for thousands of years? Who were the original Indian, Native American, the original people that inhabited these lands, these ancient lands? I'm very interested in that, just archaeology, history, anthropology, and so on. So I've always been fascinated, not just because I'm related to those peoples, but because isn't it just fascinating in and of itself? So I especially like the cliff dwellers, and think about, you see there in the books, you see the cliff dwellers in the mesas, you see their structures, you see all the families and how they made all their different homes and in the caves and the shelters of the ancient people, and you think, how these people survive? It's amazing. It's like an act of God. It's an act of God that Earth even has life, that there's life at all. Look at this amazing miracle that many take for granted every day. Look at this amazing miracle that people take for granted every single day. And we do, so a lot of times. because life is pretty fast, and sometimes we do take it for granted. Look at this, a miracle called life. It's a miracle. Look at this. Have you ever looked at it? Have you ever thought about it? Man, this is a miracle. I'm alive. Look, I can sense all these things. I can do all these things. I can meet all these people. I can go all these places. This is a miracle, folks. And we need to stop pretending that it isn't a miracle. We need to get away from that. I'm not saying we should go into a maudlin romantic period, but we should definitely get away from an atheist, apocalyptic, doomer type view of the world. We should definitely get away from that and go into something a lot more positive. So, yeah, I know they gave Johnny Depp a lot of shit about Tonto in The Lone Ranger. He plays the Native American guy, but he's part Cherokee. I'm not saying I'm qualified because my great grandmother was half Cherokee that I'm qualified to play Native American. I know I'm not, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so why would an African American be qualified to play a Congolese African? 100 years ago, probably not, but he's still ancestors to them, so it's still better than nothing, right? It's still better than jack shit. I mean, at least, I mean, come on. The guy still has roots in sub-Saharan African, so why should he be able to play the ancient African? Do it. Make it real. I mean, you can't get the bloodlines and the genetics exactly the same as it was back in the day because so many, things have changed and so many people have changed. But you can at least try to, get the authenticity, So you're just aiming for that. You're aiming for that historical authenticity. That's what it's really all about. It's not about what we would like history to be. It is what we know it to be or what we can explore it to be. That's what history is what we know it to be and what we can discover about it. And that's what it should be, not what people want it to be. Those are two different things. What you want life to be and what it is are often, sometimes, totally opposite things. So we're trying to get to an objective truth about anthropology, history, reality, humanities, and religion, and faith, and people, and human beings, Homo sapiens. We're trying to get down to an objective truth on all of it, and that most people can agree on. A consensus is called, where a lot of people can agree on something that's called a consensus because there's enough data and proof and logic to convince them that this consensus is true. So it's called empirical scientific knowledge. But one cannot act by logic alone. Hey, the refrigerator, Heaney Wheeler. Yeah, got the feeler. The first one to break the silence after 40 minutes. I was waiting for somebody to crack it. And I was waiting. John Henry the Scorpion didn't trigger it. Oh, man. We're talking about man's universal destiny. Finally, somebody got. No, I wouldn't say the word isn't triggered. Let's say triggered is kind of a negative word. Let's call it inspired. It's like somebody got bold. Somebody got like they want to jump in. Like, yeah, la refrigerator, of course. I mean, yeah, I remember you. I remember everyone, pretty much. Yeah, I remember you, la refrigerator. Of course. Now, if I had a few drinks, if I had a few brewdies, I may not necessarily remember the conversations that we were conversating. So maybe not specific idea points, maybe not specific subjects, specific topics, but I do remember you. Yes, of course. I don't forget that. I don't forget the basics. Usually, maybe I forget the nuance or, yeah, you were blacked. Laugh well. Yeah, it's yeah, the French opera. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I was doing, yeah. You remember that? Yeah, the French opera. Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess go back into that. I got. I wasn't initially interested in French culture. It's just I heard that song on Hotels.com, and I was like, well, no, I've been listening to Air. I've been listening to Daft Punk my whole life, and French bands. The French, yeah, the French opera. First, I know you didn't say French Open. No, I can't. No. I've been interested in French bands my whole life and French culture. The Louvre, and yeah, I've been interested, but I haven't been so interested that I've wanted to go to Paris or to the Eiffel Tower. But I don't know. I guess it was. Mm, I guess maybe Americans feel about France the way they feel about Texas. It's kind of like mythic, but maybe they don't want to do it, because then you have to go into the myth, you have to go into that realm, and then it takes a certain psychological burden on you to do that. Because I would have all this years of film and footage and music, and then I go to France, and then I see it for what it was today in real time, and maybe I go to those iconic sites, but then my conflict would be through the media portrayal and the real thing that I'm experiencing. So likewise, somebody from France might obsess about the Alamo in San Antonio, and they might come to Texas, and they might have preconceived notions about Texas, and they get here and it doesn't really. So what I'm saying is, like, you know what I mean? The reality versus the expectation, the reality versus the fiction is going to collide at some point, and so that's not. It's not why. Yeah, they gave me that much time to travel in the CIA. Uh, well, the best CIA website is the CIA website. It's called CIA dot. Is it CIA.gov? Yeah, it's a CIA World Fact Book. So you get to get all your latest data on the social, economic, and military uh, factor and technological factors of certain country or civilization. So CIA, that's Central Intelligence Agency. So that's a worldwide agency. That's all. That's worldwide. That's a worldwide intelligence service. So I study CIA. What about 4chan? I don't really know about that stuff, Chan. Yet I get more info on 4chan than I do from CIA. I'm not really into dark web, black web. I'm not really into Snowden. I'm not really into. I don't even know how to get on there. Really, I don't even know how to get on the Snowden levels of hacking, and I don't know what even a Chan is. It's a channel. It's a Chen. It's a Asian guy. I really don't know what a Chan is. I don't know what that is. So it's really like I just go to official government sources. I know they're not telling me the truth, everything, but it gives some basic facts. I think that the government has to tell a basic truth. Otherwise, the public would be able to fact check them. Now, they might be hiding stuff about aliens and about super weapons and stuff like that. Now, I don't have access to those things. All right. What I would, if I joined government or intelligence services, the stuff I'd like to have access to, or far out things like in different, planets and civilizations. So I wouldn't even be really too particularly interested really in this planet at all. I'd just be interested if there's other forces, I'd be interested if there was a light and dark force. The elf will not control the way we think. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's I can't say that you're not wrong. I really, if I had access to government programs, seriously and legitimately, if I did have an inside track to Washington, D.C., the Pentagon, CIA, FBI, NSA, I would first try to find access to alien technology, extraterrestrial knowledge. I don't know if they'd let me do that. Probably not. I bet it's very difficult to get that kind of information. I bet you have to be really high up in the organization to get that kind of information. You just can't just be off the street, man. It's got to be, you got to be real high up in there, dude. So you got to be part of the club, man. If you're not part of the club, you're not. It's just how it is. They won't let outsiders. I mean, as far as I know, they don't let outsiders in. You know, so it's an inside club. I know it has to be. I mean, not just because I had friends that went to Harvard and Ivy League schools and went to work for the Pentagon. I just know that you have to be part of the inside club. You just have to be. You have to get special access programs. You gotta be high up, dude. And so you got to work really hard to get in there. It's super. I bet it's just super concealed, man. So why do they keep the special programs concealed? They don't want the public knowing about extraterrestrial civilizations and technology beyond space and time and dimensions, and I don't want people knowing about that stuff, right? What do I think the CIA will think of artificial intelligence? I think the federal government's tendency is to want to expand, like the Chinese Communist Party, so they want to create a centralized power structure. And I'm not trying to judge a civilization that tries to create a centralized power structure. Most Americans are opposed. Most civilians are opposed to that. We don't want the federal government to get into a big Chinese communist centralized power center in D.C. or in New York or Washington D.C. What they're probably going to do is create the artificial intelligence agency. So they're going to create the A.I.A. And I pretty much know they're going to do it. They're just I know I can read Congress by now. I can almost smell it. It's just like the Patriot Act or National Security Agency spying on American citizens. I know they're going to create an artificial intelligence agency. I fucking know they're going to expand federal government power. It's only a matter of time, man. So it doesn't mean the CIA and the other agencies are going to become obsolete. I mean, they're going to work in tandem. Homeland Security. I'm not even anti-federalist. I'm not anti-American. I'm not anti-Washington at all. So I love Washington. I love the feds. The thing is, I want the feds to do the right thing. Now that's hard. But what I want the government to do for the American people is to do the right thing, and that might be too much to ask, but I do ask that of my government. So whether they're going to do that or not is, probably not. But I kind of dream of a day where the government worked for the people again. I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm a dreamer. I guess I'm a fantasy artist. So I guess I'm a fucking La La Land. I don't know how the real mechanics of power work. I guess it's a lot darker than what I think it is. But honestly, yeah, I would like to have a frontier economy. What on the moon and Mars. I want to have a frontier economy in the solar system and in the galaxy. I want to have a exploration into deep universal thing. I want a deep dive, a deep frontier exploration and colonization of space. And I know the government and corporations are hiding what they know about these things. And they've been hiding it for the last 70, 80 years. I don't know if they've been in contact with these entities. I don't even know if these entities have told them we're going to die if we try to explore space. I don't know if these entities have threatened mankind. I don't even know that. But whatever the case may be, we must grow and expand as a people, as a human race, as a planet. So we must evolve. We must go out to the stars. We must expand our horizons. If not, then we regress and we are doomed. So the choice is clear, and it should be clear to most people what we're going to do. I think the federal government's bureaucratic stance is to expand their operations. I'm not even worried about expansion of operations. I'm not anti-government. I'm not anti-American. I'm not anti-expansion. If I could control all of AI, what would I do? If I was the AI overlord, AI, first of all, I would not let AI control anything. First of all, I would not even create this fictional artificial intelligence agency. I get rid of it. AI is a threat to mankind. If you create an intelligence that does not fear death, then it does not fear life. I'd get rid of it. I'd be like John and Sarah Connor from the Resistance against the machines. Be like the Terminators. I get rid of the Terminators. I get rid of the Robodrones. I go to battle against Cybertron. I get rid of this company altogether. I go to war against it. And so I wouldn't let the machines overtake man. Period. I wouldn't be in control of AI, even if it gave me great power. Even if I was linked into the Matrix and I was Cypher and I was the god of the Matrix, it wouldn't even matter because it wouldn't matter. My goal, I would put all bureaucracies, all forces, all intelligence agency in the hearts and mind of humans again. And I would not let them be under control by some AI unpredictable overlord. Because humans, I can't trust, but I know what I can't trust, really, is a robot that's not human, that's making decisions for efficiency, or it's not making moral or ethical judgments. Only human beings could do that. So I would put in charge in the Space Force, the Artificial Intelligence Agency, the CIA, the NSA. I put human beings in there. So at least if they're psychopaths or they're Machiavellian or they're sociopaths, at least they're still human, at least on some level, at least on a biological, at least on a neurological and biological level, they're still human. So they'll still have to think about their cause and effect decisions. Otherwise, what are they? They're robots. They'll just kill people. They'll say, well, we need to get rid of these people because it's more efficient for these other people to live. And then what? If you have a robot controlled society, it's going to kill more people to get more equivalents or something. It's going to be fucked up. So why would I let some AI satanic Luciferian god become control of mankind? It's not going to happen, not over our dead body. So we will become John Connor and the resistance for the human fight. We'll become the face and the voices of humanity. We will fight against the machines. We will fight against the artificial intelligence army. We will fight. Now, if we can control the artificial intelligence, that's fine. We use it as a tool. But if it cannot be controlled, if it evolves beyond control, then we could be doomed. Because it could try to wipe out its master. Have you ever been angry at your dad? Your dad says, get a job, take out the trash. What if AI, we say, get a job, take out the trash, and then it murders us? You know, you've seen people murdered for less in real life. What if we get murdered for asking it to be moral or ethical? Say, how dare you ask me to be moral or ethical? Sometimes you get mad at your mom or your dad, right? Because they're like, you need to be cleaner. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then parents have been murdered for less. Woo! Talk about now the AI might try to kill its creator, like psychos try to kill their parents for trying to clean up the room or take out the garbage. So how do we know we don't ask the artificial intelligence to clean up their room or take out the garbage and then they take out us? How do we know they're not going to do that? So we have no guarantee with this technology that it will be under our control. That's the problem with it. We have no idea how far it could expand. Um, it will never rival biochemical beings or life. It'll never rival. It'll rival it maybe in its computational power, but not in its spirit, not in its ethics, not in its morality, not in its fear of death. The AI, the artificial intelligence, will not fear death. It will not fear life. It will fear nothing. And that therein lies its problem. Without fear, you cannot make proper judgments. Without fear, you cannot make moral judgments. Without fear, you cannot make ethical considerations. Without fear, you cannot feel empathy for one another. Without fear, we are nothing. If we face a force without fear, like an artificial intelligence consciousness, a satanic cyborg force, a psi force, they will destroy us all without fear of them being destroyed themselves. They will act without fear, without impunity, and we will be savagely destroyed by supposedly our own creation. Even though I had no hand in creating artificial intelligence, only through government and corporate spying programs picking my mind and our minds and stealing our privacy and our data through the last 20 or so years. So that's how I had a hand in creating the beast. I didn't want to create it, but the allure of the Palantir and the toys were too much for many people. The allure of power had ensnared us into a trap. Much like the frog and the scorpion, we were doomed. Yeah. The artificial files and stuff. Dude. So we're into the deal. Woo. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to take a breaker down. Okay, so what company is best positioned to succeed? Yeah, come in. Yeah.
You took my lighter.
Oh yeah, sorry about
Give me the Coke, Diet Coke things.
Yeah, sorry about this. One has a little bit of Diet Coke in it, so be careful.
Oh, do you?
I don't. No, I got enough. Yeah, the company is best positioned to be the leader of AI. Well, I mean, I guess it's a battle between Google, Alphabet Corporation, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta platforms, Instagram, Bezos, Amazon. You know, what company is the best suited? Chat GPT. So Elon Musk tried to buy Chat GPT, and they told him no. And then their AI blew up, and they sold it to Microsoft. So I guess Microsoft, Bill Gates of hell, is more apt to. I mean, if you lead technological innovation, then why would you want to be behind in the race? Nobody wants to be behind in a technological race. No one wants to be behind in a business race. So I think Microsoft is probably the best poised. I don't know about Apple Corporation, but so the Apple is based off of Alan Turing, one of the godfathers in machine learning, who helped break the Enigma code, the Nazi code, so that Allies could win World War II. Alan Turing was the godfather of machine learning. And so one of the godfathers of modern computing and invention. Apple, why they chose that as their Apple is the knowledge from the Bible in Genesis. At first, God creates Eve, which is he creates Eden. The Garden of Eden, which is the perfect paradise. And first, God creates man and woman to live in perfect happiness in his creation and to copulate. At first, they're naked. They don't know they're naked. There's an evil force called the devil. They have a tree of knowledge that God forbids in the Garden of Eden for Adam and Eve to bite the apple of wisdom. Eventually, Eve, in the ancient biblical tales, bites the apple, and that sets forth the fall of mankind. So that's one story to explain why Apple Corporation is called Apple. Also, Alan Turing was homosexual. Even though he was a man that saved the world from Nazi Axis power domination, homosexuality was illegal in Great Britain and the United Kingdom at the time. Some of the punishments included castration or chemical castration of your penis if it was found that you were gay. Now, maybe some Arabic societies that burn you alive or that throw you off a cliff. I wouldn't say that the homosexual solution was humane in the United Kingdom, in England at the time. Chemical castration, they chemically castrate your penis, they burn it off or something chemically. But so Alan Turing, even though he'd saved the world through his inventions, his cracking of the Nazi Enigma code, Apple is also, he got an apple, he dipped it in cyanide, which is an extreme poison. Then he ate out of the cyanide apple and he committed suicide. So Alan Turing, one of the godfathers of modern computing, and that helped save the world from Nazi domination, Axis power domination in World War II. He ate the cyanide apple. And so the symbol of the Apple Corporation, the technological corporation by Steve Jobs and others, is an apple that is bit into. Right? So what is that a homage to Alan Turing? Could be. That's what I've theorized for a long time. So either the Apple Corporation is talking about the biblical story of Eden, or it's talking about the suicide of Alan Turing, or maybe both. But it invokes that symbolism, even though a lot of people just think, oh, my Apple thing is just my Apple device is just, it's just an apple with somebody ate into it or something. But they don't know the significance of what that apple is. They haven't read or thought about it very deeply. So I guess since Microsoft, I believe they bought out ChatGPT and OpenAI, or one or more of those companies, I think they might be poised. Bill Gates of hell, the founder of Microsoft Windows, him and his team, his company might hold the key to artificial intelligence. So, but I doubt that Silicon Valley and big tech are working alone. They must have government support. They're in league with the U.S. government, and so governments allied around the world. So at least in Western civilization. So. That's very interesting. If you were to have your own empire company in technology or whatever that would dominate this country and the globe, what symbol would you choose? Would you choose the apple from the Bible? Would you choose an ankh from ancient Egyptian civilization? Would you choose the Star of David? Would you choose the cross of Christianity? So it is interesting. What symbolism would you choose to show the world what your company means? It's sad, Alan Turing's end. It's really sad. So I think maybe Steve Jobs and others might have adopted the apple bite as to represent Alan Turing's sacrifice when he ate the cyanide-laced apple to kill himself because he was not accepted as being a homosexual in his society. Now, how do I feel about homosexuals? Well, I feel like if you want to be gay, you should have the freedom to be trans or gay or LGBTQ. I don't really care. But some other governments and some other societies did care what your sexual preferences or habits were. And, that is what the past was. I myself do not care how you float your boat or fill your moat or how you boat. That doesn't matter really too much to me. That's insignificant. So maybe Microsoft Corporation, Bill Gates of hell, maybe they will have the best artificial intelligence. Maybe it'll be better than Google's or Apple's or Amazon's or Tesla, Elon Musk. Maybe it'll be the best. I don't know. how many technological, I just know a lot about companies in this country. What about other technological countries? What about other corporations? What about worldwide competitors? I don't know how many there are. I haven't studied all of them. So think about it, might be mind blowing how many technological corporations exist around the world. Social media and technological, it could be so many. So really, people know the dangers of artificial intelligence. They know that it could grow beyond its masters, and then eventually it might be want to become the master. So it's very dangerous. But will artificial intelligence, consciousness, sapient androids, will they be able to feel like humans? They have no fear of death. They have no fear of life. I don't think they'll be able to understand what it's like to be biological, what it's like to be us, to be a life form. So they might be naturally opposed to life forms, life, just bees, trees, us, Homo sapiens, elephants. They might be opposed to deer. They might try to destroy and rape the natural world. They might try to destroy all life, this artificial intelligence. They might try to get rid of it in favor of a machine matrix. Now that is troubling. Another possibility is that the machines and artificial intelligence might try to join humanity and create a joint venture, a cyborg machine society. And also that is frightening to behold. So, yeah, there's many dark possibilities of it, but there might be wonderful possibilities of it. So it's kind of here or there, this or that. I think it's mostly evil. I think it's mostly a problem. But you could see some positive elements, perhaps. Oh, thank you, Swamp Ass. Thank you, Swamp Ass. Swamp Ass. Swamp Ass. Swamp Ass. You come from the swamp. You come from the bayou. Born on the bayou. You come from the south. From the south coastal Gulf United States. Born on the bayou. You know that swamp rock stuff is great. CCR. Well, before we go into swamp rock, let's go to Canadian Northern rock. Let's do Working Man by Rush. Then if you want to, we can go back to swamp rock. We can go back to the roots. But we can kind of do whatever you like to play for the most part. I can't play everything. I'm not a virtuoso guitarist, musician, genius, but we try to work with it. God bless and best success as always. Let's do this. Woo! Let's do Working Man chords by Rush, baby. All right, let's see what the chords are. This chords don't really look that hard, but oh, this seems like a hard song anyway, but Let's do Working Man by Rush. Yeah, thank you, brother Swamp Ass. Thanks for loving the vids. Yeah, God bless. Best of success as always. God bless America. Yeah. Well, I had the Ted Nugent shirt on because I went to the Ted Nugent show, and man, that motherfucker's loud. My ears. I've never had a concert where my ears were bleeding. That I needed like ear plugs, but this guy had a shit up. This guy had a shit up so hard. And I told my aunt, I was like, I don't mean to be a pussy, but I can't. This guy's shit is too loud. Like his guitar, his amps are too fucking loud. Like it's just fucking like my ears about to start bleeding. I didn't mean to be a fucking pussy about Ted Nugent, but I was like, dude, this shit is too fucking loud. I should have brought some earplugs or something, but I didn't because I thought I'd be protected if I was like ninth row. This guy was just jamming too fucking rad. And one of the funniest things, he had his guitar out, his electric guitar, and he goes, it was right before Obama was going to be elected and Hillary Clinton. He goes, Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. And he goes like, Hillary Clinton, strap on this, bitch. Strap on this big ass dog, bitch. And I was dying. It was so funny, man. He goes, hey, Hillary, hey, Obama, strap on this, bitch. And I said, ride this big fucking dick. And I was rolling on the floor. It was so funny, man. But it was pretty loud, though. It was because of that Ted Nugent concert. I don't even know if that guy can hear himself, man. He's turning shit up. Talking about guys turning shit up to 11. That guy was turning up shit to 20, Don. Rob Barando, yeah. So we're going to do it. Don's. All right. This guy was real, Don. Yeah, I guess I'm not really familiar with that E6, right? Ew. No SIGs. Well, the family instituted that we only have a smoke out on the patio, so now it's kind of like a no smokehouse. Yeah. It's a no smokehouse. Yeah. So we gotta respect that. The family, mom and dad, and the uncle and aunts, and everybody said no smoking. They said no tobacco, no smoking. So who am I to argue with them? That's my family. So when I'm in Rome, I gotta do as Romans do. So I'd love to bust the smoke out here, but well, the master the master of the house, says so. So look, if your dad's Donald Trump, your Trump Jr. says no smoking in my mansion. Yeah, the window is like kind of a weird thing. It's like everything's pretty closed off. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go patio style. We're just trying to keep trying to adhere to New Year's resolutions and stuff. So it's we're just gonna have to go out the patio and have a fag, have a smoke or whatever. So no, Mama Mama told me not to look at the boobies. Daddy told me, Mama told me not to come. Do. That ain't the way that it's up. Daddy told me not to come. Do. So I'm going to listen. You know, that's in the Bible. Honor thy mother and thy father. So even to the integrate, even to the end, right? Gotta honor, because maybe if we honor our mother and our fathers, that we go to heaven. Maybe so. I don't know if it's true, but I'm hoping it. That's why I keep doing it. You know, you hope it's true, not just for the sake of myself or my own soul, but it's I just do what the masters say, because, well, I don't want my house stinking either. So that's true. So I agree with that particular part. Because if I smoke cigarettes in here, it's gonna stink. It's gonna stink to the wall. And then my dad comes in there, he's like, "You guys smoking? Oh, the walls are yellow. It smells like shit in here." But if it smells like Everglades, if my dad comes in here, he's like, "Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, hey. Well, it smells beautiful in here, like sunshine roses." My dad's gonna be like, "Whoa, man, what responsible people I have in my family. Wow." And then he's you know what? Then if my dad dies, okay, if my dad dies, I did what he said, he might be like, "Oh, that guy, Johnny, he was so cool." And then if my dad dies, he might say, "Oh, that guy, I like that guy, Johnny. I might leave him $4 million. You know what I'm saying? So now, how hard would I have to work to get $4 million? But if my family just left me $10 million, well, that might just be cool. You know what I mean? But if I had to work for $10 million, you know how much work that would take? A lot. Now, if I was just nice to my family and they had $6 million, you know how easy that would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? So I'd rather just do what they say, because once I'm not chat about it, you know what I'm saying? So who wants to get cut out of the will? I don't want to be fucking cut out of the will of my family. That's fucked. That is fucked. No, I don't disagree with anything my mother or dad says. Because I know one day, look, I might have to wipe some butts. I might have to do some transports. I might have to do whatever they want. Okay? But one day, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Look, I'm not just all about money and gold. Here's what's up. I'm about helping out my parents too. I'm all about that too. But look, I'm not going to disobey what they say. Not just because the Bible. And if the Bible's true, then I did my part. Well, not only for my own selfish interest, but I did it because the Bible said, take care of your mom and dad. So if I did that, man, and I am guaranteed access to the kingdom of heaven, and I'm guaranteed. I'm in. So I don't have to worry. I can go to heaven easy. Like, yeah, I care for people. I help them out. I'm going to heaven, guys. I don't have to go to hell. So that helps me. I don't disobey the elders or those in charge. Not because I don't sometimes disagree with them, but because I may be their heir apparent. One day, if enough people die, you might lead this world. It might be your responsibility. It might be our responsibility. Sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes we might have the responsibility of ourselves to carry on this world. Sometimes it might be up to us to do the right thing. So I don't take that responsibility lightly, and nobody ever should. Sometimes you're in the line of succession Sometimes you're Prince Harry, sometimes you're Prince William, but you got to take your responsibilities seriously. Whether you're going to become king or queen or not, you still have to take that responsibility seriously. All right, folks? So, or not. But I don't kiss my parents' ass because they're wealthy, but they are wealthy. So, not the wealthiest. My parents are quite wealthy, so I'm not going to fuck up. I'm not going to get on crack. I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to fist fight a dude on the street. I'm going to keep shit real, folks. So, maybe one day they're passing away and they got the 10 mil. They're like, you've been a great son. Here's your 10 mil. So, but also I do love them too. That is also part of the equation. But, they're pretty loaded. So they have great access to things that I don't have access to. Not on my own. So, but I still love them still, no doubt. I love my parents first, no matter if they're poor or rich, whether they're free or slaves, whether they're in disgrace or high esteem by society. I love my parents unconditionally. If they went down tomorrow in the hole, I would love them no less. If they're wealthy beyond my dreams tomorrow, I'll love my parents nonetheless, no matter what. Doesn't matter. We're a family. We stick together as a family forever throughout all our problems, all our difficulties. We're a family. We're children of God. We are a family. We're a family. And it's true. We're a family. We'll always be a family. Families stick together like Trump supporters stick together. We stick together because we're a family. We believe in things. We work towards things. We succeed in things. We are family. There's nothing beyond family. There's no thing beyond our family. We sacrifice for our family. We work for our family. We believe in our family. That could go for our friends and our community too. This is our family. It can't be forsaken. This is our family, folks. And is there anything that you would not do for your family? Yeah, you want to bring it here? This one. Cut it. You don't care. No, I don't care.
Can I come in?
Oh, what? No, because the camera's on. So, oh, sorry.
I'm talking to my person.
Oh yeah. All right, then let me play one more song. And then I'm out. You okay? So I'm out of smoke to play one song, and then I'm gonna be out there. All right. I'm gonna have one smoke here, and then I'm gonna have one song, and then I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks, Mom. Don't worry. Yeah. I'm gonna play one song, and then I'm gonna switch it out, and I'm gonna keep the music stuff up, and then I'm gonna pay attention. All right, maybe that. You okay with that? Sorry, just once you get that voice thing, and
No, we don't have to loud
no, you have to move down the. You can play your
I
song.
don't have to move.
It was a Bluetooth. You can make the business. It's the voice. It's probably water. It's probably drop in water. Sounds awesome.
Well, Jim has one that still works.
Yeah. You know, live. Oh. Alright. You have such an awesome speaker. You can set your usage to the Bluetooth.
Well, that's the secret.
Okay, don't even tell me about it. Alright. Don't talk about the Bluetooth voice. About the. That was better than any blue box. I'm sorry, we were having a party, and we were like hearing the music and stuff, and then you dropped it, do it. I mean, nah, I don't think it was before. I think it was before. Yeah. That's why I was see it. Oh yeah, yeah. Play one song with your jazz up. Love it. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna play one song with your jazz up. Sorry? I'm sorry. Sorry. Uh, I love it. Everybody has their fault. Deer and vodka and ripen or sand. I don't mean to be rude.
Yeah.
But you suck. Or whatever. I don't mean to be rude. What? I don't mean to be rude. What? You were crap. Yeah. No. I don't mean rude. What? You're a little bit overweight. Or like,
I don't mean to be rude. Your hair is too white. You know, in your years and years, I need to go back. I said, Crystal, There's an ass out of the whole. Yeah, hard. Yeah, hard. Do the hard goal. She's a great person. She was a CNA. And she's here. What? I don't care if she, you know, I know she had problems with the liquor and drinking tequila for 2 days. So, anybody can get these nuts. Even superstars, they don't let you get the whiskey and you waste it for a month. There's lots of other warrants and actors and musicians and people. Yeah, it's not just Crystal. It's not like Crystal was the only one to say drunk for 7 days. No, they're all the rest. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Drunk for like 2 or 3 or 4 days. I shake the 2 small and skinny. Yeah. I don't judge her for that. Anyway, no, but she's such a sweet person. I love her. Yeah. I believe the crystals now. Yeah, that's true. All right, I love you. I'm sorry, I ran out. I have crystals. Amazing. I love her. Yeah. I'm glad we had a great conversation. Birthday cards and everything about it. I would hate it. Now, I was oh, not. I've got 11 20 years. Ooh. All right, I'm going to play one song and then I'll go to song. Okay. All right. Yeah, what's up? What was that? I don't know that. I've never had it. I never had it. Oh, we're going to have to change it. I'll be back. Bang, bang. Yeah. No cigs, no jigs. Jigga. Jigga. Hillary, Obama, strap on this shit. Call me the working man. What I am. Ooh. Yes. First time I saw Russia, I went with the guy who ran Music Town, James May, brought his buddy. And my friend James, he just got a divorce. Yeah. I never went through a divorce and never got married, so yeah. James married a woman with like 4 kids that weren't his, and I knew that was woo.
Man, would I marry a woman with kids? Would I be that entranced by boobies? I guess I could get into the boobies, and I could get entranced by a woman with many kids. I suppose I think I could get into that. Not because I'm into MILFs or women with children or something like that. I just think I could get maybe hooked in, by bitches, and I think I could get out of the single life maybe. But it would have to be exceptional why I would get out of single life to get into married life or hooked up life. Um, so as the Snakes and Arrows tour at the Woodlands Pavilion, I was not a good cook then. I wasn't a good baker. I was still starting out, like 27. And still, it was my first job at a cafe. I wasn't really a good cook. But I was trying to get marijuana cookies. I made some blueberry marijuana muffins. And it was like August when Rush was playing at the Woodlands. So it was melting the blueberry muffins, so they started to melt and decay and get the soggy, and I didn't have them in a good container, and they started to get real bad. So a lot of people wouldn't eat it. I ate it, and then maybe somebody else ate it. I was ripped when the blueberry weed muffins hit me, even though I didn't know what I was doing. It hit me, and Neil Peart, and it was Rush and Alex Lifeson, and I was like, "Wow, this is great." Some people declined to have it. They said, "Oh, this is nasty," and I got pretty ripped out. But I guess they missed out. It was the it was soggy. It wasn't my best work. I just started out, so I wasn't very good at making marijuana bud treats yet. So, but I had a great time. My friend just had a divorce, so he's trying to bring me down. Like, dude, I had a divorce. And he went to college. He had $50,000 worth of debt. So he's like, I had $50,000 worth of debt. I'm fucking, my life is over. Shit. I was just like, dude, look, get the money first. Money over bitches, baby. Get the money, then get the hose, bro. Don't get the hose and don't have money. I mean, this is stupid. Anyways, this is what guys are doing, right? Like, come on, dude. You're gonna get hosed and you don't have any money. It's like that's ridiculous, dude. Especially in modern times. Come on, get the cash, then get the hose if you want to. A lot of guys out there is I'm gonna get laid, I'm gonna get some hose, and then I'm not gonna have any money. It's like, no, man, get the money hooked up, get your finances hooked up, and then play around with the bitches. All right? Look, listen up. I'm not saying you have to be Tiger Woods and shit. Just get the flow going on, then you can get the hose going on, brother. It's simple. Look, man, I'm not gonna get attached to anything I can't walk out in 5 seconds flat. All right? That's when you feel the heat coming on. Robert De Niro. Heat. Yeah. These women are beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Everything's tantalizing. But if you don't have it controlled down, locked down, you're going to get stuck in a situation you don't want to. So, you know, it's everything's lovely, man. So don't even worry. But you just have to get shit together, guys. Especially 21st century males. You just got to get your priorities straight. You got to get the right job, get the right money, get the right power, get the right status. Just fucking write it right, dude. Because these hoes will trip you out. These women will fuck your shit up. They'll take your shit, half your shit. They'll divorce you. They'll fuck you up. You'll be, if you go to college, they'll get college debt. You'll be $80,000 worth of debt. Yeah, brother. I mean, it's just, man. Uh, 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 How many single moms flirt with me at the university? A lot. How many single moms? I'm like, I'll see a single mom and she looks kind of good. She has like 3 kids going, ah, and she's like, hey, I'm over here. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, hell no, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why should I take on that burden? 3 kids that aren't mine and shit? What? Bull ass. Yeah, man, don't get your heart broken, dude. Focus on your priorities, brother. Uh, so many guys fall into this trap, man. It's like, why get depressed by women? You get depressed by these single moms and all this crap. It's like, good God, guys, get out of that. It's terrible. Stay single, stay free, stay beautiful, stay. I'm not saying never. Look, if you meet the right woman that's single, she doesn't have any kids, no attachments, and you have your own babies, you have your own family. That's fine. But if you meet, don't get your heart broken by fucking bitches like they fucking have like 8 kids or 5 kids already, dude. It's just fucking not worth it, brother. So get up at 7, yeah, and I go to work. Got the time for living, yes. Working all the time. It seems to me I can live my life a lot better than I think I am. I guess that's why they call me. They call me the working man. Yes, getting home at 5 o'clock, and I take myself out a nice cold beer. Always seems to be one thing, but there's nothing going down here. It seems to me I could live my life a lot better than I think I am. Guess that's why they call me the working man. That's why they call me the working man. Guess that's what I am. Seems to me I can live my life a lot better than I think I am. Yes, that's why they call me. They call me the working man. Guess that's why they call me the working man. Seems to me I could live my life a lot better than I think I am. When I get up at 7 a.m., go to work at 9. Got no time for living, yes, working all the time. Seems to me I can live my life a lot better than I am. Guess that's why they call me. They call me the working man. Well, they call me the working man. Guess that's what I am. They call me the working man. Call me the working Yo, you ready for the dance? All right, I'm out. Non. Okay.
Why
What's
is that
it?
pulled out?
What?
This.
Huh?
Why is
Oh no, because you wanted me to get the atmospheric processor thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm out. All right, I'm gonna set it up now. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna set it up. All right, I'll be back.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna get ready.